Since its introduction on the market in 2003, the global use of e-cigarettes has increased exponentially, especially among adolescents. If in 2011 there were about 7 million consumers, in 2021 the number rose to 82 million. And according to the latest Research and Markets report, the global market for electronic cigarettes is expected to grow and should exceed $61 billion by 2025. What is inside the e-cigarette and how does it work? The electronic cigarette is a device that allows to inhale the vapor that is formed following the heating of a particular mixture composed of propylene glycol, a food and pharmaceutical additive that comes in the form of an odorless, colorless, and sweet-tasting liquid. It is also used as a base for antifreeze liquids, in hand sanitizers, and as an ingredient in massage oils. Glycerol, a natural organic compound also present in the human body, as it forms triglycerides when combined with 3 molecules of fatty acids. It is also used in the production of syrups and confectionery products, but also as a laxative and to treat hypertension. It is also often referred to as vegetable glycerin. Nicotine. Most e-cigarettes contain a variable amount of nicotine that typically ranges between 6 and 20 milligrams. Flavors. Compounds used to give the liquid solution a specific flavor, such as mint, citrus, vanilla, and many others. The working principle of the electronic cigarette is very simple, and its electronic circuits are controlled by a microprocessor. The heart of the device is the atomizer, inside which there is an electrical resistance powered by a special battery. As soon as the power button is pressed, the electric current heats the resistance and causes the liquid contained inside the tank to vaporize, which is then aspirated by the consumer through a special spout called drip tip. Are e-cigarettes bad for your health? In recent decades, the e-cigarette has revolutionized the tobacco industry and is considered by many to be a safe alternative to traditional cigarettes. But are they really that safe and harmless to health? In this video, we will therefore talk exclusively about the electronic cigarette, and we will do so by leaving subjective opinions aside, but analyzing the results of some scientific studies, which you can find in the description of this video. In the next one, however, we will compare the electronic cigarette with the classic cigarette, and finally also with the IQOS. E-cigarettes are relatively new in terms of human exposure, and their use has been identified as a serious public health problem worldwide. The risk is especially high among young people, considering how easily they can buy these electronic devices on the internet, where they spend much more time than adults. In the electronic cigarette, the combustion of tobacco does not take place, but the vaporization of a liquid. Although the term vapor may seem harmless, the aerosol that comes out of an electronic cigarette is not simple water vapor, but can contain nicotine and, according to some studies, also some potentially harmful substances. Let's go see them in detail. Nicotine is present in most vaping liquids, known alkaloid of vegetable origin, particularly concentrated in tobacco leaves. It is a psychoactive substance with a high potential for physical and psychological dependence, capable of acting on the brain like a real drug. Thanks to its particular affinity with the nicotinic acetylcholine receptors, one of the most important neurotransmitters, it stimulates the release of dopamine, thus activating the pleasure and reward circuits. The electronic cigarette generally contains from 6 to 20 milligrams of nicotine, although following some studies, discrepancies have been found between the nicotine content declared by the manufacturer and that actually measured in the sample analyzed. In other studies, however, traces of nicotine were found in liquids which actually indicated on the label that they did not contain this molecule. The report published by the National Academy of Sciences of the United States of America says that nicotine intake from e-cigarettes varies greatly, depending on the characteristics of the product and how they are used. Among experienced adult users of e-cigarettes, there is substantial evidence that nicotine exposure can be comparable to that from combustible tobacco cigarettes. Since the electronic cigarette contains nicotine, the consumer is exposed to the risk of developing an addiction to nicotine, which manifests itself with the inability to stop taking this molecule and with the onset of withdrawal crises, including irritability, headache, insomnia, anxiety, and depression. As has now been demonstrated in human and animal studies, the intake of nicotine has a negative effect on the cardiovascular, respiratory, immune, urinary, and reproductive systems. Does e-cigarette cause cancer? Nicotine has not been included among the carcinogenic substances, but some studies seem to demonstrate the opposite. While it appears to have no direct carcinogenic effects, it appears to play a role in promoting tumor growth or aiding the spread of cancer already present. There is evidence that nicotine increases carcinogenesis, that is, the process that leads healthy cells to transform into cancer cells following a DNA mutation. Nicotine seems to promote angiogenesis, that is, the process of formation of new blood vessels, which have the task of supplying oxygen and nutrients to the tumor mass, thus promoting its growth. Nicotine can also facilitate metastasis, the spread of cancer cells to another part of the body, can make a tumor less sensitive to chemotherapy agents, and can increase the risk of recurrence of the malignant neoplasm. Are e-cigarette liquids safe? The substances contained in the e-liquid have been classified by the Food and Drug Administration as generally safe, but we still know little about what happens when they are heated and chronically inhaled. Some studies have shown that both propylene glycol and glycerol are airway irritants and can cause coughing, and in rare cases asthma and rhinitis. However, long-term effects in humans are not known. The process of heating the liquid can lead to the formation of new compounds of dubious toxicity and as yet unknown health consequences. Heating propylene glycol can produce the formation of formaldehyde and acetaldehyde. These are two substances which, if taken in higher doses than those contained in a single electronic cigarette, are considered certain carcinogens. They have in fact been included by IARC, the International Agency for Research on Cancer, in Group 1. That is, in that group of agents for which there is sufficient evidence of carcinogenicity for humans. Heating glycerol instead produces acrolein, an irritant to the airways and gastric mucosa, and toxic to the liver. It is the same reaction that occurs during frying when the smoke point of the oil used is exceeded. However, exposure to acrolein from e-cigarette use appears to be too low to cause adverse health effects. It is the power supplied by the electronic cigarette battery that determines the temperature of the electrical resistance and therefore the quantity of aldehydes that are formed. According to a study conducted by scientists at the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health in Baltimore, significant amounts of toxic metals leak from some e-cigarette heating coils and transfer into the aerosol inhaled by the consumer. In the study, 56 devices of daily e-cigarette users were examined. Scientists found that a significant number of these devices generated aerosols with potentially dangerous levels of lead, chromium, manganese, and nickel. Chronic inhalation of these metals has been linked to lung, liver, immune, cardiovascular, and brain damage, and even cancer. The study was to measure the concentration of certain metals in the e-cigarette liquid before and after coming into contact with the heating coil. Of the 15 metals analyzed, 4 were excluded due to the low amount detected in most of the samples. Of the remaining 11 metals, however, minimal quantities were found in the liquid before using the electronic cigarette, but much greater quantities of some metals, both in the aerosol generated after heating that liquid and in the quantity left in the tank. The concentration of the metals tested also varied greatly from sample to sample and were often many times higher than the safe limits established by the Food and Drug Administration. This means that some devices may be good, while others may be more toxic than expected. Almost certainly the culprit for this contamination is the heating coil within the tank of the e-cigarette, which appears to be leaking toxic metals into the aerosol, which is then inevitably inhaled by the consumer. However, it cannot be excluded that there are also other parts of the device that contribute to the diffusion of these metals. Among the conclusions of the study we can read, our results add to the existing evidence that e-cigarettes are a relevant source of exposure to a wide variety of toxic metals, including chromium, nickel, and lead, as well as to essential metals that are potentially toxic through inhalation, such as manganese and zinc. However, further studies will be needed to evaluate the cumulative effects resulting from exposure to these toxic metals in the long term. Are e-cigarette flavors safe? There is strong evidence that the wide choice of e-cigarette flavorings contributes significantly to attracting more and more people to try this electronic device. Menthol, vanilla, licorice, cappuccino, or various types of fruit are just some of the many aromas available on the market. However, the long-term effects of these flavoring chemicals still remain unknown. Some flavorings tested on human embryonic stem cells have shown marked cytotoxic effects on lung cells and have caused the release of inflammatory cytokines. In a study conducted by Harvard University researchers, 51 types of e-cigarettes sold by major brands were analyzed, with flavors that the researchers deemed most attractive to young people. In 47 of the 51 flavors tested, at least one of the three chemicals that the researchers wanted to measure was found: diacetyl, acetone, and 2,3-pentanidione. Chronic inhalation of diacetyl causes severe lung damage, including bronchiolitis obliterans, also known as popcorn worker's lung. It is a lung disease observed in popcorn preparation workers as they are forced to continuously inhale diacetyl fumes, chemical substance that gives popcorn a strong buttery taste. The researchers found that even low levels of diacetyl and 2,3-pentanidione cause changes in gene expression that could impair both eyelash production and function. Microscopic vibrating projections lining the airways, which constitute one of the defense mechanisms of the respiratory system. There is therefore strong evidence that a number of flavorings which have been approved in terms of safety for oral consumption are potentially toxic when inhaled. Considering the large number of flavors used in e-cigarettes, evaluating the safety of each of these is complicated and demanding, which will require further studies. On the World Health Organization website it says, although the level of risk has not yet been definitively estimated, electronic cigarettes are undoubtedly harmful to our health and should therefore be subject to regulation. However, it is too early to provide a clear answer on the impact these devices have on health in the long term or following their exposure. The World Health Organization also writes, to date, in part due to the diversity of various devices and the limited evidence available, the potential of e-cigarettes to play a role as a tobacco cessation intervention in the population is still unclear. In the next video instead, which you will find as soon as it is available by clicking here above, we will compare the electronic cigarette with the traditional cigarette. And what do you think of the electronic cigarette instead? Let me know below in the comments.